Okay, so we're doing this again. Okay, fuck. I honestly thought I wouldn't be, recording again. At least not so soon. Because I know I release like one video every 3 months, which I know is not good, but whatever. It's not like anyone's, watching me anyway. Really, I mainly only make videos for like, my IRL friends and like people in the, incel chat room. But really, it's just a little hobby that I just do on the side for, me and my friends. And then we can all talk about it later, make references to it. And then as soon as I'm done like recording, I kind of, I have to edit it, which, takes time, mostly because I'm like lazy as fuck. So not too long ago, I did like a first aid course, mostly because I just wanted to boost my resume and all of that, make it as good looking as possible. I'm like looks maxing my resume, right? And it was like a 1 day, 6 hour course. And like, I'll be honest, I did not learn shit. Well, of course, I learned like CPR and all that, but the theory part of it is like out of my mind now. And now I have a qualification saying that I do in fact know these things, because I did pass the course and all that. It was only like a 1 day course, so couldn't have been that difficult. But now I have a certificate saying that I do know these things. And like the things that I learned, like it should have not taken like 6 hours. Like the things that I learned in that course, it'll take you like 5 minutes to learn. It's really not that hard at all. But hey, the payout is good because at least it'll make my resume, look better for doing like very little. Because, employers would look at that and think, oh, wow, he knows, first aid. Oh, he knows what he's doing. When in reality, I don't know what I'm doing. But, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that I just forgotten everything the moment that I got my fucking certificate. There were cringy moments at the time. They were kind of making fun of, anti-maskers or whatever. And like, regardless of your stance on, wearing the mask or not wearing the mask during this pandemic, regardless of your, stance on it, that's kind of cringy as fuck. Like, we even had to sanitize the fucking training dummies. We had to like wipe it down and like sanitize them after we were like done with them. It was cringy as fuck. Like, this is the world that we live in, right? The world where there's only 6 people allowed per KFC. What kind of bullshit is that? Oh yeah, dude, that wasn't even the most cringiest part. Like, don't get me wrong, that was pretty cringe, but the most cringiest part was at the start of the course, right? Guess what this motherfucker did at the start of the course? This bitch, this Floyd, because the first aid, teacher was a woman. This motherfucker, she was like, okay, I'm gonna go around the room and you guys just introduce yourself to the class. Like, I was sitting at the top left, so I was at the front. So I had to, I hate being put on the spot like that. Don't fucking do that shit. It's cringe as fuck. Especially because it's a 1 day course. I would let it slide if it's like a 1 year course, or heck, even a 2 week course. But like, because it's a 1 day course, nigga, I don't give a fuck about the nigga sitting next to me, which he wasn't even sitting next to me because, the chairs were separated because, my social distancing. I didn't give a fuck about the guy sitting next to me. I didn't give a fuck about the bitch sitting diagonally from me. I don't give a fuck who you is, alright? Don't make me introduce myself. That's bullshit. What kind of bullshit is that, man? And of course, I lied through my fucking teeth, right? So the teacher was like, yeah, just tell us, what's your name? Is this your first time doing first aid? And what were you doing, before this, right? And of course, I lied through my fucking teeth, right? You think I'm gonna tell these strangers that I've been in NEAT for the past, however long I've been in NEAT? Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna let them, silently judge me, man. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind lying to strangers, man. I wouldn't lie to you guys. I wouldn't lie to my friends. I wouldn't lie to my homies or anything like that, man. But would I lie to a stranger? Hell fucking yes. Yes, I don't give a fuck, man. I did tell them my real name, which in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm kind of, sensitive about my name nowadays. But I did tell her, my name. I did tell her that I've never done first aid before. And that's actually the truth. But for the third question, I did lie through my teeth. Like, I told this bitch that I was working at a warehouse, like, back in February, and that, like, I lost it because of Corona. Like, you always want to, because of the political climate that we're in, it's always beneficial to say that, yeah, man, I lost my job to Corona. And you can use that advice if you're a wagey, like, whoever's watching this, right? If you're a job seeker that recently got fired, or you quit, or, whatever reason that you left left your job. Just lie through your fucking teeth to the job interviewer. Just say that you lost your job to, the coronavirus. Don't tell them that you got fired. It's not a good look. And it's good for like brownie points. It makes you look like the victim. It makes the job interviewer go like, oh, you poor thing. It's a really good weapon. Actually, my good friend, TFB from the chat room, he kind of did the same thing. It wasn't for a job interview, right? What he did, he told me that like he was able to change his phone number quickly because he used the excuse because coronavirus. Like, I'm not even joking, that's what TFB told me. And I was like to TFB, like how does that even work? Like, wouldn't they, change your phone number regardless if there's a virus or not? Like, I'll have to ask him more about that. But he did tell me that he used that excuse because I think they were like giving TFB shit or something. So he used that excuse to kind of, speed up the process. So I think, this advice is really good for, not just for that, not just for job interviews, but really anything you want. Like, if you ever need an excuse, just use Corona as an excuse. Abuse the fuck out of that excuse. But yeah, sorry for that. That was whatever. I just get really passionate whenever I see, cringy shit. Like, I hate cringe more than police, man. And yes, I did pronounce police as police because I'm really fascinated by African American English. Like, it's so. I love San Andreas. That was a good game, man. Fucking police, man. I really do hate cringe more than police. I hate teachers more than police. That's kind of like, my catchphrase in the chat room. That first aid courses, it's whatever. I got my certificate, which I think only lasts I think you have to renew it every 3 years. I don't know. I'll have to check. It says on the certificate. That's kind of lame, dude. You have to attend that course every 3 years. Like, come on, man. I don't have that much time. It's good that I made my resume, slightly less autistic. But my resume is a big fat fucking lie anyway. Like, I'm LARPing as a fucking, former warehouse worker. And I chose to, lie in my resume because, as a warehouse worker, because, I know enough about warehousing to, bullshit about it. I know just enough to, make the lie that much more convincing. So if they ever do press me about it, I'll have, a fucking prepared answer. So if they ever do ask me about it, in the interview, which they have, I always had a prepared answer. If there's anything that job interviews have taught me, and, job seeking in general, is how to be a good liar. And like I said, look, I would never lie to my friends, and I would never lie to you guys, but would I lie to a fucking stranger who's judging me, my resume, like a piece of fucking meat? Hell yes, I would. I'm a huge advocate for lying to, the job interview people. It was actually, I don't want to say this fake company name that I put on my resume, just in case, but it does have the word, TFB in it, which is a good friend of mine from the chat room. He also lives in, Sydney like me. And the number that I actually put down was a fake. Well, it's not a fake phone number, but it's a dead phone number. It was TFB's old phone number that he no longer uses, so, no one will answer. So even if the, job interview people, they do call that phone number that I put down as a reference, they won't get any answers because it's a dead phone number. I put it as a reference, of course. Obviously, I put my own, phone number there so they can contact me if I, got the job. But for the references, referees or whatever, I put TFB's name down. I was doing this one interview, it was really fucking funny, right? The guy that was interviewing me, he was like, where did you work before TFB? I nearly fucking lost it right then and there, and I just told him, no, TFB is my first job. There's something really funny about hearing a stranger say TFB, or just anyone in the chat room in general. Sometimes my life can be very sitcom-like in that regard. Just little moments like that, it just makes the job seeking process just a little less painful. Fuck, I hate job interviews. This is why people buy lottery tickets. Honestly, I'd like to work at a news agency. That sounds like a very, chill job. I mean, yeah, I know news agencies, they don't sell just lottery tickets. I know they sell, whatever else is in the shop, postcards or whatever. But I think it'll just be a very fitting job for me because it's like, I like the lottery. Why not become, someone who sells lottery tickets? Or as I like to call them, dream salesmen, because they're not just selling lottery tickets, they're selling dreams. I want to be a dream salesman. That sounds like a cool job, man. Like, I wonder how you even get into that work. Like, how do people, become news agency workers? Like, I've never seen like a job ad for it. Maybe there's like a website I have to go on or something. Yeah, I want to work at a news agency. That sounds chill. Yeah, I did a forklift course. It was like a long time ago. I failed it though, because I'm a fucking brainlet, man. I can't believe this was like, think 2019, like 2018, so this was like a long time ago, and I fucking failed that course too, and it was like a 2-day course as well. Like prior to the course I was doing research about it, and the conclusion that I came to from my research is that, if you fail this course then you're fucking brain dead. So I figured, wow, it sounds pretty easy, and plus it's like a 2-day course, so it can't be that hard, right? So I do the course and I fucking failed that shit, so that kind of, killed my self-esteem temporarily, because it's like I walked in here knowing that, yeah, this is like an easy course, it's known to be easy as fuck, everyone says it's easy, yet here I am, failing. Like, I passed the theory part but not the practical part. The theory part is they literally give you the answers and you just memorize the answers and then you just regurgitate it, on the test day. It kind of reminds me of school, actually. So like, I passed the theory part, but not the practical part where, you're driving the forklift and, carrying, heavy boxes with the forklift and all that. It's harder than it looks, actually. GTA San Andreas, it makes it easier than it looks. But yeah, I could not drive a forklift to save my life. It's impossible. I can't believe I just got outskilled by Westies, man. Because even Westies, I'm sure Westies can drive forklifts. So in a way, that's kind of saying, Westies are more fucking better and like more skilled than me, which is kind of dehumanizing as fuck. But then again, I dehumanize them first, like, by calling them Westies, so, whatever. If my channel disappears, I'll leave my BitShow channel in the description, just in case. Like, at this point, I don't even care if my channel gets terminated, man. I just want a website where I can just do my hobby. Like, I don't care about, like, rebuilding my fucking sub count or whatever. I just want a platform where I can just do my passion. Because, like I said, really, I mainly make videos for my IRL friends and, like, people in the chat room. That's it, pretty much. That's why you'll see me, like, make references to it. Like, references that only people in the chat room would understand. Like the I deserve it meme. COVID-19 charities, like, they should just give all that money to me. I deserve it. And the monkey meme. All that shit, man. Oh yeah, and the no don't go meme. Like, there's lots of, like, I would love to, like, sit down with you and just explain every single inside joke to have ever existed. But it'll just take a long time, maybe for another video. And like, I know haha he, kind of used to be a big thing back in 2018, but I kind of like retired that meme now. The mix no longer says haha he anymore. So in conclusion, Tupac is alive, Corona is a hoax, haha he, and Portality is an FBI agent. Goodbye.
Objection! Objection! Objection!